All right. For one more time, please let me know whether you can hear me and also see my screen.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, thanks. So I see some common faces. So people who are only joined to this particular session for the first time. So I'm having 3 sessions ideally per week, but this session might do bi-monthly. It depends, depending on the time. So I do a session for Tuesday, every Tuesday on large language model or Gen AI or AI in general. Sorry, Thursdays, every Thursdays. Every Tuesday, I started my sessions on cybersecurity. Again, both sessions, the holistic idea is to work out concepts to earn $1 million, right? So it looks like a little bit funny, but still, yeah, that's like the overall objective. Somebody asked, it looks like funny and like, bit of hilarious, but still, yeah. So let's see how it's going to go ahead, right? So that's the first thing. And this particular session is a little bit different. So we'll be using AI a lot. But don't take me wrong. It's not that we are building AI products, but rather we use AI, and you will see why in the session. And most of you are aware up to now at this particular point. But okay, let's make objective here very clearly. Why this session and why you should uh, attend to this live or you should watch the videos, right? And is there anything particular valuable that you'll be getting out of it? Simple reason is this, right? So there can be people, students, whoever, who's doing some research work. It can be a bachelor, you're doing, that's a degree, you're doing some research to produce, say it can be course requirement. So you're doing research, right? Not because you like to do research, but you do that. Or if you are doing a master's or MBA or a MPhil or a PhD, you do that. Or maybe you're working for a research organization, right? Or maybe you need to go to and work for a research-based organization in DeepMind. Remember, most of the organization that you see these days are now quickly becoming research-based organization. DeepMind is one of the biggest, say, chunks of Google now. So they basically are research based. You can see they do work on Flash Lite and 2.4 Pro and Flash Stable for generally, and also they say Alpha Genome. So these guys work on something called AlphaFold, and even they got a Nobel Prize for that. Actually, one person who's actually the leader or CEO of DeepMind. Later on, we'll talk about these people. And see, they work with robotics, and there are so many other things. Of course, VO3 is now so famous. Everybody's making funny videos out of VO3, right? So yeah, so you understand. Similarly, if you go to Meta Research, that's Facebook, right? So it's huge. Can't imagine how huge it is. And maybe like, so the point is, let me quickly go through the objective. You want to work for such an organization. And the important question is, do you even need a degree? No, you don't need, right? To be very honest, you don't need. But sometimes if you go and look at careers at Meta or Google, oops, they're asking for login here. Maybe like we go to Cisco Research. Cisco is a networking company. If you go here, I think they should be having some careers page or something. Probably not. So let's go to Google and say Meta Research Careers or something, right? They might ask for, what you called as some sort of qualification, but now it seems like they don't really need you to have a degree anymore, right? So that's somehow getting obsolete. But of course, having a PhD is okay. Having is a good thing. So if you wanted to go and learn something, get a degree, and all these things, yeah, that's fine. So you can see some of the cases you get asked for PhDs, but not all of them, right? So you can work as research scientist. Only thing is, even you don't have a PhD, there's a way of showing it. But again, this particular objective, one part of this session's objective is to get these people who are doing this research, but uh, convert them from just doing a research. Because a lot of people I know that they don't like research. to be very honest. It's not only in Sri Lanka, and I work with several different countries and researchers. It's not the, if they ask, okay, what do you really love doing? Research doesn't come to the top, right? Unless otherwise, if you go and ask from a researcher in Go DeepMind, they love what they do. I've heard a lot of their interviews. It doesn't work like that way. Remember, research is something that is so getting so common. If I ask a question like, okay, search in ChatGPT and get some document, it's so common. It's nothing new, right, for anyone. Even kids do these things called vibe coding, right? So if you search in Google for vibe coding, right? So it's so common. That's not a not maybe like your grandfather doesn't know, grandmother doesn't know, but a lot of people does know about this thing called vibe coding. You can talk with a computer, right, and a tool, and then they will do something for you. Develop a game, develop application, so things like that. So remember, this is becoming more generic. Like anybody can do that. It seems, right? Fine. Okay, now let's go back to the objectives. So very clearly, people who are studying and doing research, I really wanted to add them a different feature, flavor into it. It's not me who is doing it, like it's how the trend goes. People really wants to convert their research into products, right? So if you're doing a research, if there anyone who's doing a research right now, maybe for a bachelor's, maybe for a master's or a MPhil or a PhD, anyone here want to share your whatever you're doing? Yeah, Krishan, go ahead, please. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm doing a research on for my master's that is regarding digital forensics. So
Sure.
currently I'm working on how we can use AI on digital forensics.
Perfect. Perfect. So that's good enough, right? So now we have a topic. You have two major topics. One aspect is digital forensics, another aspect is how we can use AI. So now we need to think about, okay, specific thing to do. There are, like, if you search in Scholar, you can find thousands of papers on digital forensics and AI, right? So if it's just search digital forensics and probably machine learning or AI, or you can even use LLM. We'll use LLM. So there's a lot of people doing research on this. Now, see, this is a new paper, maybe check since 2025, that's like from January, digital forensics in law enforcement, case study of LLM-driven evidence analysis. I'm not going to talk with Krishan right now, but yeah, we will do like in this, one of the top things that we can do in this session is, live session specifically, is to talk about your research, and we'll build up everything here in this particular 2 hours, right? So we'll build things. Right, so we are going to that. So now you can see like a lot of people are doing it. So now it's the right time to see, okay, you can do a research and you can give it to your university and you can get your master's. That's fine, all great. But why don't we create a paper? Of course, research paper is what university asks for. And why don't you write a patent, right? How to write a patent. And what can you do with the patent if you have a patent, right? Okay. So wherever the country that you are living in, you can write a patent. And can you sell a patent? Of course, right? We go to Perplexity. How can we monetize? Sorry, how can we monetize patents, right? So why don't we do this? That's my question, right? So why just we like all throughout the history, we have seen people are become billionaires, millionaires. Zuckerberg is doing that now. He's a billionaire, and on in between, right? So this is what they have done. So why can't we do it? Of course, there were days. It's a little bit difficult for us because we haven't had the right tools, software, or we are not in the right place. Probably you guys are mostly around Colombo. Right now I'm at Perth, but you can go to anywhere. But say if you're not in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, where Silicon Valley is where almost everything is happening. So even OpenAI is in San Francisco. It's called San Francisco Bay Area. So if you really want to see where is not that it's just happening in USA and in the East Coast of USA, but if you really want to go to San Francisco, so this is where most of the stuff is happening, right? So this is the bay. You have a big bay here. So this is the east corner of USA. And if you look at the states, so it's called California, state of California. And this is where everything, you have Los Angeles somewhere down here. Yeah, this is Los Angeles. It's a huge city, and San Francisco. This is where, like, around here, you find all the big companies. Not that, companies are not there. The other states, some of the companies, big data centers. We're going to talk about data centers today, everywhere. Similarly, if you go to Europe, yeah, a lot of things are happening in Europe as well. England to, of course, there's these Nordic countries. If you have heard about, a lot of Sri Lankan IT guys now planning to move to Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark. They don't like to go to UK. Of course, the reasons are quite obvious. I'm not going to talk about geopolitics today, right? So, and then of course you have Netherlands, Olandakara, like Lanka, right? So these are the places. A lot of things are happening here as well, right? So there's no questions. You have a lot of things happening in Stockholm and few other countries. And of course, countries like Estonia is fully digitized. So I know a lot of Sri Lankans who are working in Estonia these days and few other places. Similarly, if you go down to this side, of course, a lot of things are happening in Thailand and Indonesia, Bali. A lot of people go and work in Bali, right? And a lot of things happen in Hong Kong. Yeah. So there were days where you have to be in the right place. But what I'm saying right now is you don't have to. Because there are so many ways that you can now convert your research project into a patent or a product. You can license it, you can sell it, you can probably put it to a patent pools. You talk about all these things, intellectual property banks, and start a business. And even you can get something called royalty, 10% royalty of the business that's they are running. I hope you got the base idea. Right? So this is the reason that we need to convert our research into startups. There can be people here, participants here who have never even started a research, maybe still learning in the very early stages, but still okay. You can do research. You don't have to be like the most intelligent person here in the room or in your school or your university. No, you don't have to become Albert Einstein, because truly speaking, you all are Albert Einsteins, right? Only thing is you don't know that. Right? So you need to use workflows. Today we're going to talk about these workflows and everything. Right. So let me summarize. We'll go stepwise. මේ සෙෂන් එකේ අරමුණ තියෙන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ රිසර්ච් කරන්න අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කරන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ ස්ටඩීස් වලට ඕන නම් හැබැයි ඒ කරන රිසර්ච් එක ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකට කන්වර්ට් කරන්න. So Krishan can convert his research into a product. Of course, he can sell it. Initially, maybe not, but of course, there are plenty of ways you will learn how to convert it to a product and sell it. It can be a SaaS, software as a service, and sell it. Or it can be just an idea, POC, proof of concept. And you can go to a real software company in Sri Lanka or anywhere else, right? So you see that there are companies, there are pools, right? And then you ask, okay, why don't you come and buy my product? So if it's a good product, obviously they will buy it. So then there are so many other avenues. I'm not going to talk too much about it right now. You can get bored, right? So understand. So then of course you have a product, and obviously you can make a startup out of it. මොකද මේ ස්ටාර්ට්අප් කියන වචනේ ඕනට වඩා එදිනවා. ඉතින් ස්ටාර්ට්අප් එකක් කරන්න අත්‍යවශ්‍යම නෑ. ඔයාට ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් දෙන්න විකුණන්න පුළුවන් එක. ඔයාට කම්පැනි දාන්න කම්මැලි නම්, ඔයාට වයස නම්, ඉතින් you don't have to do any of those. Just for a royalty, ඒ කියන්නේ මාසෙට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ගාණක් හම්බෙනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් එකපාර සෙල් කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඩොලර් ලක්ෂයකට, ඩොලර් මිලියන එකකට එහෙම සෙල් කරපු අවස්ථා ඕන තරම් තියෙනවා. Right? There are so many companies being bought by the big companies. ඒ වගේම ආතල් එකේ එහෙම විකුණලා ඉන්න කම්පැනිස් ඕන තරම් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අපි ඔය ගැන පස්සේ කතා කරමු. කම්පැනි තරම් නෙමෙයි, කවුද මිනිස්සු සමහරවිට කොහේ හරි ලෝකේ කොනකට ගිහිල්ලා නිදාසේ ඩොලර් මිලියන 2-3ක් තියලා 5ක් 6ක් 10ක් 15ක් තියාගෙන account එකේ මුකුත් නොකර ඉන්න මිනිස්සුත් ඉන්නවා. මේ ඕන තරම් stories තියෙනවා. ඉතින් so this is like the motivation. I hope I motivated you at least some extent. ඉතින් මේක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට හිතන දේ තමයි ඉතින් කොහොමද මට ඕක කරන්න බෑනේ. I don't have any. That's what you're going to do or learn in these sessions. I think, and also this is the best time to do that. So again, you should ask the basic questions. ඇයි මෙයා මෙහෙම කියන්නේ? ඇයි මේක best time කියලා කියන්නේ? එකක් තමයි you have access to technology like like a single second. Like perplexity අහන්න පුළුවන්, right? දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදියට you can let me even I have extracted a nice slide for this. Let me, as actually it was a tweet that I have seen. ගන්න මුලින්ම ඔන්න ට්වීට් එකේ මෙයා කියනවා, so let me full screen it. Sorry. මෙයා කියනවා how to raise $10 million seed round. මේක ගැන ගොඩක් දන්නේ නැත්නම් don't worry too much. $10 million කියන එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා. seed round එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ ඔය startups වලට යන කට්ටිය මේ fund raise කරන විදියක්. හරි. එයා අහනවා මොනවද කොහොමද මේක කරන්නේ? ඉතින් මේක ඕන කෙනෙකුට කරන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් හැමෝටම අද මේ session එක ඉවරනට පස්සේ මේක කරන්න පුළුවන්. Copy and paste top 10 most popular research papers. ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා නැත්නම් research papers කියන જાතිය සම්බන්ධයෙන් I think most of you there are good places to search for it. We'll do that, right? We'll do that today. And then write this prompt in 5,000 words. I think I have the prompt here. Yes. Write a white paper for new innovative blockchain based. ඉතින් මේක ඔයාලට කැමති එකක් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Startup that leverages technologies outlined in the කියන්නේ blockchain එක හදන්න පුළුවන් ඕනම technology එකකට. දැන් කවුරුයි මෙතනදී හිතන්න එපා මම නම් IT වලට එච්චර කැමති නෑ AI වලට. No, එහෙම නෙමෙයි. මෙතන එහෙම දෙයක් නෙමෙයි කතා කරන්නේ. AI පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් any problem that you have. You are into health, you are into finance, you are into agriculture, you are into drones. Even there's nothing technology about it. It can be how to suicide prevention. What a කැමති. ඔයාගේ life එකේ ජීවිතේ කැමති. Music වලට, computational music, anything. Right? So then what do? You are convert to a Google Doc and then you post it. Right? So මේ example එකේ තියෙනවා මෙයාගේ මොකක්ද කරේ කියලා අපිත් එක්ක කරලා බලමු. කරන්න බැරි නෑ. කවුරු කැමති ඉන්නවනම් මට ඒ ටිකක් කියන්න. අපි මේ දැන් කරලා බලමු practical fun practical එකක්. කොහොමද මේක අපි convert කරන්න business idea එකට. එහෙම කරපු example එකක් මට තියෙනවා මට පෙන්නන්න පුළුවන්. But before all that, you guys can let me know if there's anything that you wanted to start with. So if you can go to Scholar, Google Scholar කියන එකෙන් you can download research papers. ඉතින් මේ researchers ලා තියෙනවා එක එක categories වල. Right? So there are researchers who no one knows about. But there are some researchers in the world. So if I tell me about myself, so I'm not a really good researcher to be very honest. So it's please understand you can't measure yourself by just the index like this, making nothing, right? It doesn't mean anything, right? But if you really want, so the area in which I'm in, machine learning කියන එකේ, if you go ahead, this guy is one of the top. මෙයා තමයි මම කලින් no, not you haven't come to my other sessions. This is the guy who invented back propagation. This guy is called Geoffrey Hinton. මෙයා වැඩකාරයෙක්, පට්ට වැඩකාරයෙක්. මෙයා තාම ජීවත් වෙනවා. හැබැයි මෙයාට බය වෙලා ඉන්නේ AI සම්බන්ධයෙන් දැන්. ඉතින් ඔයාලට පේනවා එයාගේ citation index එක මාත් එක්ක comparatively. ඉතින් ඔයාලට තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන් මම කොහෙද ඉන්නේ කියලා. ඒ වගේම he's really famous. Not only because he's a researcher, he worked for a university even right now, University of Toronto. He's an emeritus, කියන්නේ දැන් වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ, but still he has that status. And also this guy has basically worked for Facebook, Google, or Microsoft for long number of years. I can't exactly remember which company was it, but he was a kind of a research head. Right? So he's still his students are writing papers, you can see. So this is the level of research you understand. So any area that you can go and find who are the best researchers. And these best researchers, obviously, nowadays, right? ලංකාවේ ගත්තොත් best researchers ලා ගත්තාම ඒක වෙනසක් තියෙනවා. එහෙම ඉන්නවා ලංකාවේ හොඳ කට්ටිය, ගොඩක් හොඳ කට්ටිය. ඒගොල්ලෝ companies කරනවා කියලා එකක් නැහැ. නැත්නම් ලොකු companies වල වැඩ කරනවා කියන එක හරි අඩුවෙන් වෙනවා. දැන් ටික ටික වෙනවා. හරි? but මේගොල්ලෝ දැන් මෙයා ගත්තොත් එහෙම he is working for say for a moment we'll assume Microsoft and ඊළඟට තව ඉන්නවා set එකේ දැන් මේ ඉල්ලියා he's like one of the students of Geoffrey Hinton. This guy worked for OpenAI. He was a director actually in OpenAI. Now he went out for some reason, but he was co-founder and chief scientist at OpenAI and plenty other places. This guy is also so famous, right? Really famous. So we can understand, right? So really look at from top down, මේ හැම researcher company එකක ඉන්නේ. එක්ක company එක වැඩ කරනවා නැත්නම් එයා company එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ජෙෆ්රිට company එකක් තිබ්බා. ඉල්ලියට company එකක් තියෙනවා. හරි? දැන් companies කීපයක ඉන්නවා. හරි? So similarly, if you go ahead and look at most of the other guys who in machine learning or any area for that matter, right? So Jan LeCun is one of the top guys. He's the chief scientist for Meta. That is Facebook, of course, right? You can see his figures also. These guys, සමහර කට්ටියට මේ citation count එක තියෙනවා ලොකුවට හැබැයි ඇති වැඩක් නැහැ, right? These guys are really have done a lot of things. But මේ මම ඇමරිකාවේ examples ගත්තට don't think like that. There are good people even in Sri Lanka, India, everywhere in the world. But remember, it's a different caliber. I think Eva Gamer, there are researchers who doesn't have really big counts, but they have done great deal of work. Yeah. So please understand, how this works. Make it getting and don't worry too much, right? Okay. Now, anyone here wanted to try out this method? We can create a $1 million project within few minutes. That's the cool thing, guys. That's the cool thing here. These people have done නැත්නම් මේ කියන්න හේතුවක් නෑ right. ඉතින් කරන්න විදිය තමයි අපිට යන්න පුළුවන් Google Scholar එකට මේකේ search කරන්න පුළුවන් research papers. මෙතනදී කියන්නේ ArcSci කියන එකට යන්න කියලා. ArcSci එකේ papers ගොඩක් අපි කියනවා preprints කියලා જાතියක් තියෙනවා. We'll talk about it later. And if anyone wants to talk about you have to build a product on voice, right? You guys are not talking, so I will select whatever I would like. So if you go and search for voice or AI voice or something, you can find some really good papers here, right? So as an example, towards low bit quantization automatic speech recognition module, or I don't know, triadic multi මේ කිව්වම සමහරවිට එකපාරට බය හිතෙනවා මේ වචන තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් මොඩි වෙන්න එපා කියන. අපි ඉස්සර කතා කරමු කොහොමද මේක මේ sensible කරගන්නේ කියලා. Writing and losing AI, but public disclosure about ChatGPT is about how society is made sense. Okay, something. Speech tokenizer key to consistent representation. So අපි දෙකක් download කරගමු. මේකයි voice ගැන තියෙන මේ papers දෙක ගමු. Right. What I'm going to do.
Question.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, Krishan.
Yeah. What would be the legality of using such research papers for our business purpose?
Not a single problem. Research papers are open domain. What you call as open domain. Research papers. Very good question, Krishan. A lot of people don't understand this logic, right? So we live in make a paper එකක් ලියන්න සමහරට ඒගොල්ලෝ මිලියන ගණක් වියදම් කරනවා. හැබැයි මේ paper එක මට තප්පරෙන් access කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? මේ university එක, this is University of, it's actually Qualcomm AI research. මේක මේ company එක Qualcomm කියන්නේ huge $1 billion company. ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන product එකේ information අපිට එළියට දෙනවා. Right? සමහර මේක ඊළඟ paper එක ගමු. මේක university එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Yes, Kyoto University, one of the top universities in the world. මේ paper එක දෙනවා. මේ research paper දැක්ක ගමන් කට්ටිය සමහර කට්ටිය දෙනවා. අයියෝ මේ මොනවද මේ මල විකාර. But please understand, you have everything, $1 million resources at your hand. කවුරුත් දන්නේ නැහැ. free තියෙන හින්දා මිනිස්සු ගණන් ගන්නෑ. Right? And of course, the next question, they have their open, information available. Like අපිට දැන් උදාහරණයකට පොතක් කියවලා පොතේ information ටික අරගෙන අපිට product එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන්. It's the same way. There are some other aspects of legality comes in. We'll talk about it. Don't worry. When you come to do a patent and all that, there are things that we need to consider, but you can do. Now we'll go and get the prompt. දැන් බලමු දැන් මේකේ prompt එක අරගෙන මේ ඔක්කොම දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරන්න පුළුවන්. අදම කරන්න මේක. දැන් එකම දේ තියෙන්නේ මේ session එකේ බලන කට්ටිය වීඩියෝ එක නිකන් ඉන්න එපා. අයියෝ මේ යකා මේ පිස්සු කියවනවා මේ එහෙමනම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ එන්නෙත් නැහැ මම දන්නවා live මේ session එකට වැලියක් තියෙනින් දෙන්නේ. හැබැයි නිකන් ඉන්න එපා. Don't just spend your time here. No, do something today itself. You can fail වලට කමක් නැහැ. First few months you will fail. First week you will fail. First day you will fail. One day surely you will become a millionaire. ඊට පස්සේ මට පොඩි go and go ahead and මේක සමහරට මේක එච්චර logical නැති වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. අපි ගත්තේ voice සම්බන්ධ paper එකක්. අපි try කරලා බලමු. In 5,000 words, write a white paper for new innovative blockchain based startup that leverages, or we can just forget about the blockchain based part. Innovative startup that leverages the technologies outlined attached to research papers. I think මෙන්න මෙතනින් පටන් ගත්ත හැකි. අපිට කිසිම අයිඩියාවක් නැත්නම් මේවා විතරකින් පටන් ගත්ත හැකි. Or reverse engineering කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාලට paper එකක් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට දීලා තියෙනවා නම් product එකක් ගන්න. I know there are some undergrads here. So just download 10 papers which are pretty මුකුත් කිව්වම තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේක try කරලා බලන්න. මේක try කරලා බලන්න. මම මේ තේරගත්තේ deep research aspect එක. ඒ ගමම I will do this in Gemini. Gemini is pretty amazing. Later on I'll show you a lot of tools. But I will do this here with Gemini, right? Let's upload some files. Yeah, let's give the same prompt. Oops, sorry. What was the prompt? Yep. The leverage. I just remove that blockchain part. I can even use it. I'm just using deep research here. So here also I use the deep part. It will take a bit of a time, but still it will give you us a better report. So in probably few seconds, it will ask me to do the start research thing, and we'll get the output and see, right? Because I'm running few things, the net is a little bit slower. We can read this in a quick time, but let's wait for this guy. So I trust more Gemini. Of course, you can use Gemini. Of course, you can use Perplexity, ChatGPT, Claude, and there are so many other tools. I showed all this. There's a list of tools. In these sessions we'll use all these tools and even compare, contrast. There's one called Manus, DeepSeek, and so many other. Right? Don't worry too much which tool to use. Okay, let's ask you to do this research. Right. Okay. Now, until the report comes in, I'll give a bit of a time. Still, it's running. Let me showcase something that I'm planning to do. I don't know whether you will guess, you'll laugh at it. It's okay. You can laugh at it. It's all right. So, what is the current biggest problem in Sri Lanka? This is what I'm trying to do. I developed this within 5 minutes. I want to do a startup resolving Sri Lanka's biggest problem. මොකද ලංකාවේදී ප්‍රශ්නේ පහුගිය අවුරුද්දේ. So, like people say it's Rajapaksa Horaka, right? So that can be true, right? And also, but what I do believe is there's a lot of issues in Sri Lanka. ලංකාවේ ගොඩක් ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා. හොරු වැඩි ඇත්තටම කිව්වත් වගේ. හොර කරන්න පුරුදු වෙලා තියෙනවා. So, and I don't want to talk politics here, but still you understand. But what I'm going to do, because I'm working with this thing called digital twin, I'm going to create a digital twin. See, this is a research, but I can make a product out of it. Digital twin කියලා කියන්නේ මට පුළුවන් ලංකාව තනිකරම twin, ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කියන්නේ simulated environment එකට අතට දාලා simulate කරන්න. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා නැත්නම් මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් OpenAI එක නෙමෙයි Google DeepMind, sorry, not DeepMind, it's මොකද්ද මේ research එකේ නම? It's reinforcement learning lab. Give me a second. Nope. It's reinforcement learning. Hardcore. Just give me a second. I'll show you some interesting thing. All these things are available everywhere, but there's this one particular place. Okay, it's OpenAI Gym. Sorry. I think it's OpenAI Gym. Yeah. Yeah. So this is such a wonderful environment. You can try out any okay, yeah, something like gym, sorry, something like a drone. You can test it. Of course, you can test it outside, but there are what you call as twin environments, like virtual environments, where you can basically run it inside the computer. ඉතින් මේ drone එකක් අපිට try කරන්න පුළුවන් මේක. ඒ වගේම let me quickly get gym virtual environment. I think they have a different web page now. Virtual environment. Yeah, so maybe this one. And there are so many other digital twins. We talk about these things later. Yeah, this is the one, I think. Yeah. Gymnasium. Yeah, so this is the one. Yeah, so see, like this is moon landing, right? So this is like the first time they have tried out moon landing with something called deep reinforcement learning. So this is like start of all these large language models and stuff like that. So I can create a virtual environment and test lot of these things. And of course, there are so many things I can try. Not only moon landing, it can be a drone, it can be even something like Sri Lankan system. On a university like resources. So what I'm trying to do is visualize Sri Lankan economic future. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set it up in a digital twin. Right? So economic landscape. We can use principles of economy. Even if you are researching economics, you can try out things with AI, right? And you're a researcher, but you can create products. See? So what I'm going to do is you can check the impact of political stability. Ekine fact එක ගන්නවා. Behavioral finance. අපි මිනිස්සු වියදම් කරන විදිහ ගන්නවා. අපිට සල්ලි තියෙනවද සල්ලි නැද්ද සල්ලි නැති වෙන්න හේතුව මොකද්ද? ඉතින් මේ වගේ රටවල ඕන තරම් තියෙනවානේ. ඉතින් අපිට මේක පුළුවන් පොලිසි සිමියුලේටර් කියලා සිමියුලේටර් එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් මේක ලංකාවේ මං හිතන්නේ තාම කවුරුත් කරලා නැහැ. even අපේ central bank වත් තාම මේක කරලා නැහැ. හැබැයි you can do it if anyone interested in it, you can do that. So you can add things like now with these days biggest problems are VATs or taxes. You can add those things, right? අපි මම කරලා පෙන්නන්න ඕගොල්ලන්ට ඩෙවලොප් කරලා පෙන්නන්නම්. අද මේකේ මම පොඩ්ඩක් මේ ලොජික් එක ගත්තේ. මේක මම දාලා එක එක පැරාමීටර්ස් දාලා මට ලංකාවේ ඉන්න 20 million crowd එකට මේක බලපාන විදිය දාන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් so end of the day I can implement as a service and I can give to this government companies, banks and get some real valued things. ඉතින් මේකේ තවත් සරල කරලා කිව්වොත් එහෙම මේකෙන් මට බලන්න පුළුවන් ඊළඟ අවුරුදු 5ේදී මේ යන විදියට ගියොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? මේ ටැක්ස් එකේමොත් ප්‍රයිස් එක වැඩි වෙනවා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ පත්තරේ හැමවිටම දකිනවා මෙහෙම වැඩි වෙනවා කියලා කියනවා. ඉතින් මේ වගේ දෙයක් ඕන ලෙවල් එකට ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. ඉතින් දැන් සමහරට මේක එකපාරට තේරෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන් මේක ටෙක්නොලොජි එක ගැන මොකද ඒ ගැන වොරි වෙන්න එපා. මේක ගන්න ඕන කෑල්ල ලොජික් එක තමයි දැන් මෙතනදී ඔයගොල්ලෝ then you are a researcher, you can connect with the researcher. It's my girlfriend economics කරන්න කියලා ජපුර කැම්පස් එකේ, right? You guys can build up something like a twin model. මේක පුළුවන් ඕනම තේකට පාවිච්චි කරන්න. මේකට විතරක් නෙවෙයි අපිට තමු අපිට අවශ්‍යයි disease එකක් කොහොමද move වෙන්නේ කියලා වෙලා. Yes, I can propose this to NPP government, right? So and so many other places. And මේ වගේ models හදලා තියෙනවා World Bank එකෙන් ඕන තරම්. හැබැයි මේ twin model එක නෙමෙයි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලෝ වෙන models පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. මේක අලුත් විදියට හිතපු model එකක්. ඉතින් so then you can even check things like corruption risk predictor ඔය වගේ දේවල් කරන්න පුළුවන්. I'm not going to talk too much about it. Anyway, how are you going to build this product? There are architecture, there's blueprint, everything I have it. I'll share to you guys. ඒ වගේම මම තා පොඩි දෙයක් share කරන්න. මේක පෙන්නන්න පොඩ මොටිවේෂන් එක දෙන්න ඕගොල්ලන්ට. Let me try to bring it up. I'm building up a product. හරි. මේක දැක්කම පොඩ්ඩක් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ආයි හිනා යන්න පුළුවන්. You can laugh at it. It's okay, right? So probably you guys have heard about quantum, right? Quantum entanglement. මේක ටිකක් ඕන වෙනස් කතාවක්. දැන් මේක මම යන්නේ physics වලට. Right? Last 2 to 3 years I've been quite interested in physics, especially quantum physics. And then of course relate to other things because at the end of the day it all matters to computing, right? So then I was thinking of developing a kind of a blockchain application which works with quantum entanglements and quantum networking. තේරෙන්නේ නැති කට්ටිය worrying එපා. We'll learn if you wants to, right? මම මේක හදන්න පෙන්වනවා මේ ක්ලාස් එකේ. මම මේක හදාගෙන යන හැටි everything, right? Then I thought, okay, what the hell? Okay, so even some concepts I also don't know. දැන් මට කියන්න දැන් මේක කාටරි මේක අයිඩි එකක් තියනවා කරන්න. අපි හිතමු කාටරි ප්‍රූව් කරනවා අයින්ස්ටයින් wrong කියලා. දැන් බලන්න මේ දැන් මෙතනදී එක රිසර්ච් එකක්. හැබැයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ පටන් ගන්න ගියාම content entanglement කවුරුහරි මෙතනින් මම අහනවා can you guys come and work with content entanglement? I want to prove that Einstein is wrong. ඔයගොල්ලෝ හිනා යන්න පුළුවන් මෙයා පිස්සු කියනවාද කියලා. හැබැයි දැන් ඔන්න මම කියනවා දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ රිසර්ච් එකනවත් අහුවෙන්නේ නැති පොයින්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට. තේරුම් ගන්න බැරි පොයින්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask, right? Ask, say Gemini or any AI engine, right? Again, මේ වැරදිට හිතන්න මම මේ AI sell කරන්න හදනවා කියලා නෑ. ඒක නෙමෙයි. හරි මේ workflows වලට හුරු වෙන්න. ඒකයි මම කිව්වේ. I asked them to write a novel. Right? So this is chapter 1. So it has all written a novel. This is like not the exact novel, but the base idea of the novel. Core structure of the novel. I'm planning to build this novel. Of course, මේ ගොඩක් ඒවා AI generated දේවල්, but මගේ concept එක. Right? So they are going to build up the novel first. So I thought of building up the novel, or writing up the novel. මම මුලින්ම නවකතාව ලියනවා. Right? So මේකේ ඉන්න චරිත ඩොක්ටර් ඇරිස්ට්‍රෝන් කියලා කෙනෙක් ඉන්නේ. ඇරිස්ට්‍රෝන් හරි. ඉතින් එයා මේක හදන හැටි තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේක හදන හැටි යා මම novel එකේ script එක ලියාගෙන යද්දි එනවා එක තැනකදී මේ table එක. මේ table එකේ මේ මොන වගේ models ද පාවිච්චි කරන්න මේක implement කරන්න කියන එක පැහැදිලිව කියලා තියෙනවා. ඒතර එකපාරට දැන් උදාහරණයක් හිතන මෙතන රිසර්ච් කරන කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවනම් digital forensics වල ඔයාලට novel එකක් ලියලා බලන්න පුළුවන්. You can write a novel, Krishan, right? Then you can see a detailed novel, right? ඉතින් මේක විනාඩි 5 යන්නේ මේක generate කරන්න. Then you can see, like, you can ask the novel creator to give up all the technical information. And you are really deep going into technical information. And remember, you have even sources. You can go to the real source and understand. So, මගේ මේ novel එකේ මම පාවිච්චි කරන මේ technology, something called formal verification. ඔක සමහර විට අහලා ඇති. අහලා නැත්නම් worry වෙන්න එපා. බය වෙන්නත් එපා. ඒකයි මම කියන්නේ. automated model synthesis. ඒක ගොඩක් ලාට large language models දී තියෙන එකක්. ඒ වගේම something called FSM SAG, right? එතන smart contract වලට කොහොමද generation වලට finite state machine කියන එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න කියන එක. ඒකත් අහලා නැති ඇති. ඒ වගේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේක දැනගන්න ඕන point එක method එක පාවිච්චි කරන. මම පාවිච්චි කරන method එක. ඉතින් මේ වගේ just think for a moment. Now අපි යමු පොඩි අලුත් පැත්තකට. Now Krishan is trying to build up his digital forensics tool that can be used by say CID in a very different way. But you want to sell it to some outside, outside Sri Lankan clients also, right? So everyday people. So you want to develop a market. So what you can do is you can write a novel about it. And with the novel, you give your product the initial trial version for free, right? So this is you do marketing. You can do marketing even with AI now these days, right? If you want, so I'm planning to build a meta world. Probably you have heard about this VR worlds or Meta. They have this VR. What is its name? VR. It's called. Anyone has tried out? It's Horizon, right? So you can build a real VR world, Horizon, for your novel and your product. So your product information will be here in your Horizon meta world, right? But what I'm going to showcase here is the horizon that you can work with, right? So the main horizon you have virtual worlds, a lot of virtual worlds are there. I don't know how many gamers are here. Minecraft, you can build a Minecraft world and it takes only 5 minutes. My goodness, to build this Minecraft world, it takes only 5 minutes for me. I'll showcase how to do that. And of course, Roblox. There are people who love Roblox. Not only kids, right? I thought initially it's only kids who love Roblox. No, my goodness, even grandpapas are playing Roblox, right? So these are all digital worlds, and of course there are plenty more digital worlds, right? So see, like this is how people do these things these days, right? So this is one novel, and there are so many other novels I want to show you. This is another novel that I'm writing. This is a little bit advanced, but this is not just to give you the base idea, right? I'm going to hack physics concepts using Buddhism. So I'm in the middle of it. So basically, it will revolutionize all. You probably have heard about something called theory of everything, but there's some problem with theory of everything. This is the current one of the biggest problems in the world right now. Theory of everything. There's something missing here. If anyone is interested in physics and all these things, so the gravity is not there in quantum world, and big question is why, right? So there's an equation for this, but big part of that is missing right now, right? So I'm trying to build up a model, but no one would care. Right? මම දැන් මේ මොඩල් එක දැන් කියන්න ගියාම වෙන්නේ කවුරුත් මේක ගණන් ගන්න. Even I have the mathematical proof for it, right? No one would care. Why? Because I'm just a simple bugger in Sri Lanka or somewhere with have a very low profile for me. So I write a novel about it, something called Mindful Code, right? I think these are the logics that you can try out. So this is how you think like a researcher, right? Even for a novelist, you can do that. This is my point, guys. Please understand. Make අවුරුදු දෙක තුනකට කලින් කරන්න මටත් බෑ මේ විදියට. Because I don't have access to these things so fast. I can't build these things so fast. So let me do another thing. Now, this is, I think, again, you guys know about this. If you go to Notebook LM, so I have plenty, you can see there are so many areas that I do research on, but let's create something fun here. So let's add those two papers. Maybe some of you already know about it. And what I'm going to do, so this is something that I do every day, and I generate audio out of these two papers. Or even if I want to get the best papers, I use Notebook, right? And I want to discover about voice-based products, something like that. I can discover more papers and add them as well. But right now I'm not worried. I'm just wanted to generate a clip. So I'm just listening to, so sometimes yeah, that's a common, yeah, it's a good thing, it's okay. But you have to read sometimes. But if you don't really don't have the knack to it right now, just generate audio. And you can just generate a mind map on this and just generate a briefing doc, study guide, timeline, FAQ. So all these things are available for you. So as a researcher, to become a researcher, even it's difficult. Right? I haven't not even gone out to startup areas or product development, but this is how we do product development. And of course, if some of you came to my other sessions, you can build things up with Cursor pretty quickly, right? Pretty quickly. So let's go and get how about the status, to check our status of the product, how we can build it. So this is a good one, right? So it seems like a good documentation. Let's go and check. It seems to be a big documentation. Yeah, I can even listen. I have Speechify. I'm listening to most of these things, but see, forget about listening. So let me go and get this paper like our Twitter guys suggested. So let me again tell you what I've been doing. So this is what he suggested. ඔයාට $10 million startup fund එකක් අවශ්‍ය නම් මෙන්න මෙච්චර කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. You can also do this. Like it took how many seconds? Yeah. So let me continue, right? ඉන්න දැන් අතර මම මේක copy කරමු, export කරගමු මේක. මේක PDF එකක් ගමු. Yeah, it's okay. You can even build your web page if you wants to, but we'll just go for a PDF. Let's open the PDF. Yeah, දැන් බලමු මෙයා මොන වගේ voice product එකක්ද හදන්න කියලා වෙලා. Voice GenAI revolution human machine communication through advanced voice activity projection edge optimized speech. now see මේක මේ නිකම්ම නිකන් document එකක් නෙමෙයි, hallucinated එකක් නෙමෙයි. මේක base වෙලා තියෙන්නේ good research එකක් මත. ඒත් මම මේක හැමදාම කියවන්න යන්න තේරුමක් නැහැ මේ වෙලාවේ අපිට මේ කියවන්න ගිහිල්ලා. හැබැයි මෙතන පෙන්නනවා target market segment enterprise communication වලට is a 12.1 billion market. My goodness, please understand this. healthcare වලට මේක පාවිච්චි කරොත් එහෙම 8.2 ඔයාට මේකෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ 1000 එකයි. 1000 නෙමෙයි. ඩොලර් මිලියනයක් නට ඕනේ ජීවත් වෙන්න නේ. so මේකෙන් 1000 එකකුත් නෙමෙයි 8000 එකයි අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ. Industrial IoT and field service 3.2 billion market. මේ ඔක්කොම true data. හරි cross check කරන්න පුළුවන්. කොහෙද බොරු කියන්නේ නැහැ මේ perplexity එක deep research එකේ. බොරු කියන ප්‍රමාණය අඩුයි. එහෙම කියමුකෝ. core technology stack එක මේ කොහොමද හදන්නේවා? හදන හැටිත් මෙයා කියලා තියෙන්නේ. හරි. ඉතින් මට ඕන නම් so මේ document එක අරගෙන මේ document එක මේක ඔක්කොම කියලා තියෙනවා කරන හැටි පවා. Right, you can do it if you want, but just to show you product portfolio voice gen enterprise කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේක හදන හැටි මේකේ වැදගත් කැලෙන්නේ මේ edge optimized speech recognition කියන කැලල. ඉතින් ඒක යන දැනට අපි worry නොවීමු. voice gen in the edge. කවුරු හවුවත් මේ edge කියන්නේ මොකද්ද මචං? We'll learn about it later. ඒ කියන්නේ දැනට don't worry too much about it. cloud එකත් ඇති edge එකක් නිතරම එනවා. අපි පස්සේ කතා කරමු මේ ගැන. මේ තමයි market strategy එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා. Right? Code for technology differentiation. ඕනනම් මට මේකේ prompt එක උනත් අහන්න පුළුවන් මට දෙන්න ඕන prompt එක. So let's start cursor. I can start developing this now. Right now. I can give the PDF and start the development if needed. So let's start a file, open folder. බලන්න දැන් මේ අපි කියන්නේ POC හදන එක, proof of concept එක හදන එක. නැත්නම් මේ initial basic අදහස හදන එක. ඉතින් see how fast it is. POC 1 version 1 right, for voice product. So so I can give the whole logistic to the agent. මට මේක ෆයිල් එකක් නා අප්ලෝඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා මම දන්නේ නැහැ. බලමු ඕන අප්ලෝඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඇයි සමහරටනේ. I have never uploaded a file directly. This is too large. But anyway, let's check. Let's go here. Yeah, so you can see even 5-year projections, right? ඔක්කොම තියෙනවා. Implementation roadmap එක තියෙනවා. Yeah. Market risk, I think this is a huge, it's a proper white paper. But if I really want to try it out, but let's go and check how Gemini had done it. Yeah, so you can go and export it now. You can get the complete Word document. You can cross check what is the better one, Gemini's one or Perplexity's one. And yeah, give me a second. Let's wait a bit. Yeah, it's loading up. And also I can create a nice infographic, right? If I wanted to pitch this, ඊට step එක pitch කරන්න පුළුවන් ගිහිල්ලා. ඔයාට ඕන නම් ගිහිල්ලා අපි තුමු ලංකාවේ වෙබ්සයිට් එකට ගිහිල්ලා කියන්න පුළුවන් මචං I have a good product. ඔයාගේ යාළුවෙක් ඉන්නවනම් නැත්නම් දන්න කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවනම්. So let's try to build up something. Yeah, you can say that, right? So let's wait what it gets, but let's go and check executive summary of this. Pervasive integration, blah, blah, blah. We don't read everything. Don't theory of natural multi-party voice interaction. Okay, like Skype එක වගේ තමයි මේක වෙනස් දෙයක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඔක්කොම ඉස්සර කියලා තියෙනවා. Challenge bridging the gap in the multi-part spoken dialogue system. They are research එක base කරන් කියලා තියෙන. ඉතින් so it's something new and something interesting. Multi-part voice activity projection. ඕනම් මේක අරගෙන කියන්න පුළුවන්. Critical observation short delay. Let's see, there's a better summary of things. Key findings of optimization. Okay, that's there. Our innovative approach. Okay, that's fine. integrated technical architecture for processing pipeline. So let's go and probably copy this part. Yeah, so you have a lot more fun things here. Let's quickly go through other stuff. Don't worry if you don't understand the technical side of it, but yeah, let's go and get that thing fetched out that I tried to copy earlier. Yeah, the conceptual flow. So let's go to cursor. You can say this is the conceptual flow for my edge-based multi-party voice communication, right? Build a POC. Yeah, so this is a pretty large one, but still you can build a POC. But remember, the guys, know the fundamentals. Make a කරන්න පුළුවන් 10 වසර ළමයෙකුටත්. හැබැයි once you learn the fundamentals, you can do things faster, effectively, and you can go to a level where I mean, like, do so much of things. Let's say, let me first create the to-do list, organize our implementation. Yeah, and it's try to install things, the requirements. They're going to use transformer library. It's a Python based one. It automatically selected Python for some reason. I can accept it, right? So, and if you look at the to-do list, set up the project structure, implement real-time audio input, implement voice activity prediction. If you never heard about these things, don't worry. And then implement quantized ASR. I think it was will ask it to create the directory. Yeah, I can continue doing this. So, and also you can see the README file also created, quite detailed one, and how it works out. And let's start with implementing the audio input module. There's a Python file created already. And also you can see very clearly the project structure is created, the models, the config files, and of course audio input Python file is created. This is how fast you can build prototypes. Don't worry, we are going to deep into things, how to do research, how to write papers, how to read papers, how to learn things faster. හැබැයි ultimate objective when we do a research මෙතන ඉන්න හැමෝම මේ voice edge කරන්නේ නැහැ. If you do research, you do it right. You do like how Stanford researcher does it, how like Jeffrey Hinton does it. You can learn the model, right? You can start small, but you can do, right? මම දන්නවා මේක දැක්ක කියලා ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මේස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේක මහ ලොකු දෙයක් නෙවෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි there are things to be amazed about. That's what I'm saying here. That's what I'm going to talk about, right? Again, now මේක මම develop කරා දැන්. මම develop කරගෙන යනවා. Now I need to make sure මට පොඩි සැකයක් තියෙනවා මම මචං මම මේ කරන දේ හරිද කියලා. That is where so there's my stuff here. I can go to Perplexity or any other. I can get the advisor created. So I have my space here in Perplexity. This is again what researchers do. And there's something called, I have created one called Startup Research Coach Advisor for this particular session. මේක වෙනස තියෙන්නේ මේක පස්සේ පෙන්නනවා මේක කොහොමද කරන්න කියලා. මට පුළුවන් මේක දීලා I am building a product based on this research concept. Right. It's going to be edge-based, multi-party voice application. Provide me the roadmap. මේ වගේ අපිට පුළුවන් දැන් හිතන්නකෝ මේ වෙලාවේ වල ජෙෆ්රින්ටන් නැවත් එක්ක කතා කරන්න. නැත්නම් සෑම් මෝල්ට්මන් ඕපන් එකේ නැහැ. හැබැයි සෑම් මෝල්ට්මන් මට මෙතන හදාගන්න පුළුවන්. මම පේනවා මේක හදාගත්ත හැටි. බලමු දැන් මෙයා මොකද කියන්නේ කියලා වෙලා. මම මේක දෙනවා මෙයාට. දැන් කියන්නේ yeah. So it will go through everything. So see roadmap, edge base. It give the roadmap. I'll tell you how this works. මේක මේ නිකම් hallucination එකක් නෙමෙයි. මේක මම exactly instruct කරලා තියෙනවා මට මොන විදිහටද මට information ඕනේ කියලා. So there so I have specifically created to do researchers. ඉතින් මෙතන research කරන කට්ටියට තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ tool එක පාවිච්චි කරන එක. ඒක මම දෙන්නම් code එක ඔක්කොම. නැත්නම් ඔයාලට හදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. මේක exactly කොහොමද phases මේක phases 10ක් තියෙනවා. phases 10ද මම මතක නැහැ. 10 යන හැටි. මම මේක පෙන්නන්නම් මේක මම code එක ලියපු හැටි. Let me go first to this one. I can edit this, I think. Where can I edit this? searching with custom instructions. Okay, I can, yeah. So this is what I gave the instructions for. If you can read, I'm exploring an app idea that I need to help to validate, improve it. Then make it important. I'm going to validate what I wanted to do. 7-step process, reverse engineer the idea. Access my founder make a fit. Founder make කියලා පස්ස අපි ඉගෙන ගමු. Sorry, founder market කියලා කියන්නේ. මේක සමහර application තියෙන කොච්චරද market කරන්න බෑ අපිට. So is that and define ideal customer profile and validate problems. So likewise. So there's a validation that you want to do and can we build it using AI and something likewise. So මේකගේ instruction දීලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒකට අනුකූල වෙන විදිහට he give the answer. So from this I can see whether is there any value to do this. So if you wanted to do the same thing 2 to 3 years back, it might take 1 year even to come to up to this place which we have done with the cursor. Probably more than 1 year, right? Probably more than 1 year, right? Even more than that. Even I can run this one here, right? If I want, I can even run this one right now. But see how fast it is. මේක හැමදේම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙන්නේ නැතුව ඇති. හැබැයි ගිය workflow එක තේරුම් ගන්න. ඉතින් අපි මේ වගේ products හදන එක තමයි කරන්නේ. Any questions up to this point? I've been talking for almost 50 minutes at straight. Anyone? So let me summarize. So what I said was, beginning I told you what is the importance of this session. The value of this session is start doing a research. Don't worry whether you are a student right now, you can do research. But the ultimate objective is to create a paper, product, and a patent. When you have the product, you can sell it. You can start your own company, or you can do a startup, and you can find money. There are a lot of funding organizations, and then build a $1 million or few $1 million product. That's the logic. And the important question is, right? Because you can do it. And to get $1 million in, if you work in Sri Lanka, කොච්චර කාලයක් ඇයිද කෝටි 30ක් හම්බ කරන්න? හිතලා බලන්න. අහලා බලන්න අවුරුදු 15ක් වැඩ කරපු කට්ටියගේ savings කීයද කියලා වෙලා. ඔය ප්‍රශ්නේ අහන්න ගිහිල්ලා. කෝටි 30ක් තියෙනවා ඒගොල්ලෝ ගාව. Oh, okay, go ahead with that path. But otherwise, what's the use? Just think through the logic. Yeah, any question?
Yeah, Dr. Lakmal, what is actually high demand area at this moment in currently to do like some the patent?
Don't worry, I will talk about it. There are so many areas, but it's totally based on what you really love to do, right? Don't do something that you don't love to do. I'll show you. There's a lot of fun stuff I have created for you to look at. Even the answering the question right now, what I'm trying to do is try to work with something called software 3.0. I'll come to that. That's the top area, because you can, I'll tell you, like if you work with software agents, you can use software agents to anything that you love. Doctor කෙනෙක් or doctor කෙනෙක් එකතු වෙලා අපලන් product එකක් හදන software agents පාවිච්චි කරලා. If you have an agricultural, අපි කියන ගොවියෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් එයාත් එක්ක වැඩ politician කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා, you can talk with them and build a system, right? If you have a police, CID, intelligent officer, not a problem. But you can, because most of you are coming from computing background, you guys can work with, this thing called computer agents or AI agents, right? So anyhow, so now you got the point. So now I already built the system. I don't want to explain this, but let me close this one. And of course, now I can see the whole thing here. There's a audio that I can listen to understand what is ASR low bit quantization. Or if I wanted to get the mind map, I have the mind map here. See how cool it is. So I know these tools is not what you were looking for, but you can see by, okay, what's happening? Yeah, so you can basically build up a quick mind map and understand everything. Right? So background, motivation and everything. So it jumps everywhere. Yeah. So how can I? Yeah, you got the logic, right? So you can do and check everything and download it and everything. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. It close all these things. So you can, of course, write a novel and do multiple things. And let me quickly go to. So this is what I build up for Digital Twin Sri Lankan one. I'm in the process of developing one. If anyone wants to work with, yeah, you're happy to work with that. Come and work with that. And I'll show you one thing. This is what we built earlier. So let me close all the unnecessary ones. Yeah, so this is the book that I wrote earlier. Let me go for this one. Yeah, so this is like the one. You can even build up a nice infographic. Lifetime of today's voice assistants, one-to-one interactions, cloud dependent slew, and pervasive privacy risks. Don't understand, don't worry. Pillar one, mastering multi-party turn taking. Yeah. So, and pillar two, see how fast you can even build a deck of slides, and then you can start even marketing it. So this is our documentation. Everything is there. So I'm going to close everything. I'm not interested in it anymore. Hope you got the base idea, right? So then, as I said, you can build up a quick POC model. And so you have to go to Arcsivy or Google Scholar and basically get some papers. And now you know the process, how you can come up with this particular white paper, voice gen AI or whatever the field. If Krishan wants to come up with your own version for digital forensics and AI, you can do this, right? But find good papers. That's very important. All good. Yep. And remember, so just because I want to go to the next section that I've planned, just remember what is Stargate project. So Donald Trump is planned to spend $500 billion. It's almost $500 billion. You can even imagine the size of it into AI. He's building, ගයක් හදන්න කොච්චර යනවද ලංකාවේ අවුරුද්දක් යනවා සමහරලාට. මේගොල්ලෝ මාස 3න් හැදුවා ඩොලර් බිලියන ගණන් වල data centers. So their plan is to it says OpenAI posted 300-word announcement about Stargate building new AI infrastructure for OpenAI in the United States. So they're doing it now, right? And also other companies are also connected. Build 10 data centers of 500,000 square feet each. So they're on the process. So why don't you jump to the bandwagon? You also have some part of it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share first. Any questions up this point? Any questions? All good? All good up to this point? Any questions? Hope you understood the base idea. So now we know what we are doing in this class, not the class, sorry, session. So like I'll tell you like how this would work out every, see if you're doing it every week, how it's going to work out every week. I'll explain how basically we are going to work this around. So initially, like the agenda would be, we are going to talk about startups, how to get funding, and also we are going to talk about papers, research papers. Don't worry, I'm not going to not talk about maths and everything. I'll make it so simple for anybody can to understand. And also we are going to learn about how to do proper research, fast research, smart research, right? I'll showcase so many methods, like how to use different tools. Like if I'm going to show you a quick set of tools which you can use, there are thousands of them right now. So there's some tool called PaperPal. So I'll explain how to use it. There's something called Research Rabbit. I'll try to show it. Now, one example. Let me do a quick example only using this one. Let me, anyone having any area of research that you would love to do some initial work? Anyone? Okay. Digital twins. Okay, let me do it. Digital twins, and I'm going to add the paper digital twin. Now see how fast. මේක කරන්න ඉස්සර කාලේ ගියා සාමාන්‍ය මාස 3-4ක්. දැන් මේක විනාඩි 5න් කරන්න පුළුවන්. අලුත්ම papers ගන්නත් පුළුවන් අපිට. Digital twin industry state of that. That's a bit old paper. That's fine. Open Research 2020 and 2024 generative AI things in the digital twins. Digital twin කියලා කියන්නේ අපිට nuclear power plant එකක් වල computer එකේ model කරන්න පුළුවන් twin කෙනෙක් විදියට. මම කලින් කිව්වා ඒක. ඉතින් තව බලමු 5 disruptive technologies to 6G support. ඕනනම් අපිට නගරයක් connect කරන්න පුළුවන් you know 5G 6G වලින් try out කරන්න පුළුවන්. So that's few papers. So I can add little bit more. So see how fast it is. ඊට පස්සේ මට මේ දැන් papers ටික ඔක්කොම select කරාම so they will find see 1400 papers in the same area, and even they will get a sort of a nice graph about researchers and how they are connected and everything. There's a lot more to talk about it. I'm not going to talk to everything, but then I can select everything And then I think I can add them to select, and there's a way to add them to my papers. Give me a second. Okay, add to digital twin. So I'm having this, only I have 5 papers. Now I have select, I haven't, basically I have to go through everything and select them, but I can say add to digital twin. So these 50 papers will get added to my, yeah, you can see them. Right. So then what I can do is, now see how fast it is. I downloaded around 55 papers within 1 minute. Make me normally so now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to sync to Zotero. There's a tool called Zotero. Let me open it up. Also, my Zotero is really big. It has so many research areas in it, but let me quickly show you how this will work out. Right. Yeah, I'm going to sync it to Zotero. I'll do that. I'll name it as Lakmal's Digital Twin Papers. I think I can add dashes in between. Yeah, okay. Yes, so now what I'm going to do, so these are my different sections that I work with. So let me see whether this guy is working. Yeah, it's getting synced up. So what I'm going to do is I go to my tool called Zotero. If you ever have not used this tool, it's called Zotero. There are a few other tools like this. So now I'm going to sync it. You can see it's already syncing. So these are my papers, and now I can see it's populating. You can see these are like workflows. මේවා තමයි පොඩි පොඩි gagematics workflows. ඉතින් මේක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් research papers හොයන්න, ලියන්න, of course product එක හදන්න, everything. Even to learn about it, මේක දැන් අපි blindly කරන්න හොඳ නෑනේ, computer tools වලින් පාවිච්චි කරලා. We have to learn about these things quickly, faster. Thing අර mind maps හදලා we learn all these things. අපි නේද මේ මෝඩ විදිහට කරන්න යන්නේ නෑ. We do it the right method. Stanford එකේ මොකක්ද use කරන method එක, we'll use the same thing. I'll show you as an example. Stanford, they use this method if you wanted to write a paper, and you are going to learn about it. So this is basically, let me show you how you basically, until this gets downloaded, let me show you how you normally do research paper reading using tools in Stanford and Harvard and big schools. ඉතින් ඔයගොල්ලෝ Harvard එකේ approach එක Harvard එකට යන්න අඩුම ගානේ ලක්ෂ 300ක්වත් ඕනේ, right, course එකට යන්න. ඉතින් ඒක අපිට දැන් පුළුවන් ඒ විදිහට පාවිච්චි කරන්න. This is same way now. They are also searching, their research is image captioning. මොකද දෙපා මොනවද image captioning කියලා කියන්නේ. ඉතින් මේක Google Scholar එකේ search කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ papers with code කියන එකට යනවා. I'll show you that as well. Papers with code. ඊට පස්සේ එකේ papers හොයා ගන්නවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ගිහිල්ලා ඉවරලා ඒකේ benchmark බලනවා. Right? මේවා තමයි methods, the smart methods guys. ඉතින් මේක ඉගෙන ගන්න. ඊට පස්සේ these are not big things, right? Once you learn it, you can find data sets, and you can Scholar search it, and you can see even how to read, how to highlight, right? The මේ වගේ deeper process උත් අඳුර ගන්න පුළුවන්. මම දැන් මෙච්චර කරේ පොඩි අර interesting gagematics ටික කොහොමද automate කරලා කරගන්නේ. You can use them, no problem, but at the same time understand how to work like a deep research. එතකොට නේ අර උඩින් විතරක් පේන නිකන් අර හැමදේම දන්නා වගේ පෙන්වන කෙනෙක් නෙමෙයි, ඇත්තටම දන්න කෙනෙක්, you know. So that's the other thing that you would understand. How to do things like what Bill Gates did. How you can become a Bill Gates? How to do Elon Musk? And නිකන් බොරුවට show up දාන YouTuber කෙනෙක් වෙනවට වඩා truly somebody who knows about everything. Not everything, the subject, sorry to use the word. So this is, you will even learn how to do proper research like this way. So ask if you have any friends to join our session, anyhow, you will get the video, don't worry. Yeah, so now if you go and check in Zotero, it's still getting through. And now the other cool thing is, so normally if I right click here and say find available PDFs, now my goodness, even if there's any free PDFs available for these papers, they will download it. Right? ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ research papers කතාවේ සමහර පැත්තක් තේරෙන්නේ නැද්ද? මේක dark side එකක් තියෙනවා. මේවා සල්ලි වලට ගන්න වෙන සමහර ඒවා. ඉතින් මම ඒකත් කියන්නම් කොහොමද people who are there in my large language model session, we can use something like AI agents to download these things. I'll tell you how to do that. But anyhow, so if you have the paper, now we can read the paper. This is a good quality journal, IEEE Access, Digital Twin. So you can, read the paper if you want. But if you want to get a summary of it, you can use Perplexity. But it's sometimes good to read, like, highlight things. It's kind of fun. කවුරු හිතනවා නම් එම මම රිසර්ච් කරන්න කැමති නැත්te කියවන එක හින්දා කියලා කියවන්න එපා. Right? You can use a tool like Speechify and ask it to voice it for you. ඒකත් ආස නැත්නම් summarize කරන්න කියලා කියන්න. නැත්නම් digital version එක අහන්න. So there are so many methods. ඉතින් මේකේ ගොඩක් කට්ටිය අකමැති වෙන්නේ මේ රිසර්ච් වල මෙන්න මේ අනවශ්‍ය කෑල්ලට. ඉතින් ඒක අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. මේක one by one line එකෙන් line එක go through කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. එහෙම කරන්නෙත් නැහැ කවුරු. ඉතින් හැබැයි ඒකත් ඉගෙන ගන්න. ඒකත් කොහොමද technically කරන්නේ අවශ්‍ය නම්. හරි? ඉතින් දැන් ලියන්නෙත් නැහැ සමහර කට්ටිය. ඒකට tools තියෙනවා. So let me show you now. We have seen Zotero. So this research rabbit, now we have looked at it. And then of course, a tool called, this is tool that I'm using called Jenny.ai. So this part you can write it from AI, right? You can line by line AI detection වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක අපි plagiarism නෙමෙයි ඒක. අපි ලියන කියන එක ලියනවා. ඉතින් ඉංග්‍රීසි හදනවා අර Grammarly වගේ. ඉතින් මේ tools තියෙනවා. අපි තව tool එකකට ගියොත් එහෙම මේකේ තියෙනවා අනාරා ඔක මේක කලින් කිව්වා Unreal කියලා වෙලා. මේකත් ඒ වගේම tool එකක්. ඉතින් මේකේ ගොඩක් options තියෙනවා. අපි පස්සේ කතා කරමු. මේ සමහර tools ඉගෙන ගන්න එක වටිනවා. ඉතින් කවුරු කියනොත් මට ඔය මුකුත් ඕනේ නැහැ word. ඉතින් ඒක මෝඩයි. එහෙම කරන්නේ නැහැ කවුරුත් දැන් මේ ලෝකේ. ඉතින් you don't have to, but remember if you want to write in word you should be able to write. And there's another one called Yomu. So all these tools we learn Semantic Scholar, right? And also there's another great one like Research Rabbit called Litmaps. So these are tools that you can use for your research process. මේ workflows ටික අපි ඉගෙන ගමු. Nothing to worry. Connected papers. It's another really great one. අපි දැක්ක Research Rabbit, they are trying to get connected papers. So single, prompt or single tool, you can get 1,000 papers very much related. අපිට මේ එකට එක සම්බන්ධ papers ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. අපේ වෙලාව නාස්ති වෙන්නේ. අපිට ඔක්කොම කියව ඉතින් මේක හිතන්නකො අවුරුදු 10කට 15කට කලින් රිසර්ච් කළ ප්‍රොඩක්ට්ස් හද මිනිස්සු මල් තියලා වඳින්න ඕනේ. කොච්චර අමාරු ප්‍රොසෙස් එකක්ද. මේ එකක්වත් අමාරු නෑ. මම මෙතන කියන්නේ මේක සරල කරනවට වඩා මේක මේ ගැජමැටික් ටික පෙන්වන්නට වඩා ප්‍රොසෙස් එක ඉගෙන ගන්න. So you guys can do a lot of things. And ultimate aim, remember, create a $1 million product. ඒතර නිකම් product එකක් හදන්න යන මිනිස්සයාට වඩා you are so much valued. ඔන්නක මතක තියාගන්න. අපිට ඕන නම් මුකුත් නැතුව අපිට පුළුවන් as an example you can do a YouTube channel. ඒකෙන් අපිට පුළුවන් සල්ලි earn කරන්න. හොඳයි. කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. ඒක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කරන්න. හරි? ඒ වගේම product එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි product එක හදද්දී ඔයා හදන්නේ නියම පිළිවෙලට. Google DeepMind හදන පිළිවෙලටම ඔයාට කරන්න. ඉතින් ඔයා Google DeepMind එකේ ඩොලර් බිලියන ගණක් වියදම් කරපු team එක ඉන්න පුළුවන් නම් හොඳයි, right? So you go to Google DeepMind. Google DeepMind. Right? So if you go here, මෙතන බැලුවොත් මේ එක්කිනුට පඩිය හම්බ වෙනවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අවුරුද්දකට කෝටි ගණක් හම්බ වෙනවා. මාසෙකට ලක්ෂ 50ක් විතර ගොඩක් කට පඩි හම්බ වෙනවා. හරි? මෙතන ඉන්න කට්ටිය බැලුවොත් එම ටීම් එක DeepMind එකේ ටීම් එක මෙතන දාලා ඇති කියලා මම හිතනවා. Projects, publications. These are big projects that they're running. AlphaFold. මෙතන අපි මේක search කරමු. Google DeepMind team. Yeah, about section එකේ තියෙනවා. Yeah. So this is the guy who got the Nobel Prize. සාමාන්‍ය computer scientist කෙනෙකුට Nobel Prize එකක් හම්බ වෙලා නැහැ මෙච්චර කාලෙට මට මතක විදිහට. But this guy got a Nobel Prize. So this is the team. You guys can go and work. But what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to do is, මේගොල්ලෝ පාවිච්චි කරන research process එකයි මට බැරි පාවිච්චි කරන්න. Of course, these guys are getting millions of dollars to do these things. But the same level or miniature model you can run. There can be a SLID student in the 4th year. I think Dinupa is at SLIT. So you can just use the same process. ඒක නිකන් බොරුවට නිකන් Google එකෙන් search කරලා copy paste කරලා ChatGPT එකෙන් paper ලියනකොට ගොඩක් වටිනවා. ඒකත් කරන්න එපා කියලා මම කියන්නේ නැහැ. හොරෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන් එක වගේ වැඩක් මට අදාළ නැහැ. හැබැයි මේ process එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න. එතකොට කිසිම තැනක presentation එකට ගියාම එහෙම නැතු Bill Gates වල ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇහුවත් you are not going to lose yourself. Am I clear about it? I hope it's clear, right? And even watching the video, anyone? That's a truly intelligent, I would say, researcher, engineer, whatever you can call the name, or a human being, right? We are not just from something and just littering it out. Even the cursor one, don't think that you have done something marvelous, right? No, you have to understand this, understand the code, how Python works. Again, you might think, it's not hard. That's the thing. That's the other thing that you have to learn the software stack, and there are methods to learn. So once you learn that, you're like one of the top scientists or software engineer in the world. So now the process is so simpler, easier. So this is the thing that I want to say. Right, let's move on. Now you know the point. Let's look at the other tools quickly. Connected papers. So I'm just going through quickly, right? So and just showing that what we are planning to do, these workflows and everything. I showed you one workplace is ResearchRabbit. The rest also we'll go through. And this is the dark side, right? Sci-Hub එක කියන්නේ ඉතින් dark side එක. ඒ කියන්නේ හොරෙන් research papers download කරන තැන්. ඉතින් එහෙම දැනුත් දැනගන්න වෙනවා සමහර වෙලාවල් වලට. ඉතින් තව tools තමයි ANAS archive කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. මේකනොත් අපිට ඕන පොතක් ඕන දෙයක් download කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Even Harvard Business Review you can download if you want. මේක මේ Harvard Business Review එක මේකම මේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් $50ක් විතර වෙනවා. රුපියල් 20000ක් විතර වෙනවා එක magazine එකක්. ඉතින් ඒකේ ලෝකේ තියෙන හැම magazine එකක්ම download කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒක I think you guys know about these things. I don't know how to teach you how to hack things from the internet. But remember, if you want to get papers, you can download. But I'm not teaching you how to download from this. But I will tell you how to create. Now, I'll show you one simple example quickly, another one. I'm going to do it today, but let me show you the participants who were there yesterday you guys can also watch, but don't worry, I'm going to work on these things on N8N, how to build agent workflows and also how to build MCP servers. So this is a one. It's a pretty amazing. So now you guys are researchers. You want to read the top 10 papers and create a documentation. The මේකෙදි මම මේ Sci-Hub එකට යන්න ඕනේ, download කරන්න ඕනේ, research paper extract කරන්න ඕනේ. You don't have to do anything, right? So ඉතින් සමහර කාටද හිතෙන්න පුළුවන් මේ හැම වැඩිම ලේසි කියලා අපිට කරන්න වැඩක් තියෙනවා. එහෙමත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඉස්සරහට. රොබෝ කෙනෙක් ඉන්න පුළුවන් ඔක්කොම කරලා anything. That's how it is. We can't stop it. But if you really want, so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this, go to the Hugging Paper.com and papers. So the website එකේ තියෙනවා Hugging Face එක. Some of you already know about it. මේක දානවා ඒ දවස්වල top 10 papers, daily papers. ඉතින් මම මේක පාවිච්චි කරන එකක්. මට මේ papers හැමදාම එන top 10 papers මට කියවන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් මේක මට හැමදාම කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒනට මට මේක හැමදාම ගිහිල්ලා paper එකක් අරගෙන මෙහෙම click කරලා මේ paper එකේ abstract එක කියවලා මේක PDF එක අරගෙන PDF එක download කරලා මේක දාලා ChatGPT එකට නැත්නම් මේක print කරලා එක කියවලා ඕක මට කරන්න වෙලාවක් නැහැ. So what I'm doing is මේ workflow එක තමයි මම කරන්නේ. Right? මේක Hugging Face එකෙන් download කරනවා. Hugging Face extract කරනවා paper එක. ඊට පස්සේ මේ split out කරන්නේ මේක අවශ්‍ය විතරක් ගන්නවා. මට පොඩි filtering එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. මේක මම තියන් ඉන්නේ Notion එකේ. I have already shown you a few times. If people are here for the first time, I use Notion for everything. So this is how I have shown some of you. Like everything I created into Notion databases. I'll teach you this as well as an example. If I want to get say top 100 Sri Lankan share market companies, right? So everything is here, right? So I can basically fill out all my details here. So I have a lot of details. Who is the CEO? Now for Orient Finance, this is Mr. Jabir. And then CSE listing date was 2011. Company description, I can go and get some details about this one. Corporate governance structure, it's A- for most of the Sri Lankan companies now. It's a situation, debt to equity ratio, everything. So similarly, I can download all these papers. So I have plenty of such research databases. So I hope you got the base idea, right? So now I can save it to Notion database, but it's not going to just paste out the PDF. It's going to evaluate using OpenAI, right, and Gemini, and get the audio and then add it here. So what I do, guys, when I'm driving every day, I just go to my phone and Gemini Notion app and just click on the audio and it's automatically start playing. So it's a 5-minute one. So if I'm driving for 1 hour, I have done reading the top 10 papers on machine learning or whatever the subject that I'm interested in within 1 hour. Or I can send everything to Notebook LM automatically. And you know what is Notebook now, right? Notebook LM. So this you can do in multiple other ways, right? So if you can remember, where's my notebook, LM? Yeah, so in Google also you can, sorry, here also I think I'm not using here in this one. I have a different, yeah, let me bring it down here. So this is a similar one that I've created. Say this is around all 20 papers. So basically I can get a conversation, like 20 minutes conversation, and it will jam pack everything into one audio. I can just listen to it. But the cool thing is, make it මේ වෙලාවත් මට වෙලාව යනවනේ මේ 20 papers add කරන්න මේකේ videos පවා තියෙනවා මේකේ YouTube video එකක් එමත් තියෙනවා, right? And if I want, I can even ask a question from it. Probably if you are not aware about these things, I will demonstrate it in later sessions, right? Then I can add it to this research workflow, right? So you can build so complex research workflows. Then make a you're not interested into Notion database, you can even email it if you want, right? So if you want, you can write a paper out of it, right? And you can publish it in LinkedIn if you want to. My goodness, there are so many things that you can do. I know some of you already know about it. Sorry if I'm saying something that you already know, but remember the complexity of this can be amazing, right? So if you basically goes to, let me showcase a quick one. This is the GitHub repo. So a sec. Yeah, so this is the one. So it has so many templates, right? Which you can do so many things. Like what? Like you can do email automation. So this is what you can do as a smart researcher. If you have a Telegram channel, so this is just things that you can do. Google Drive, you can get the Drive sheet. So these are different automations that you can do. PDF processing. So the value is that now you can become a smart researcher, smart developer, smart founder, smart startup founder, anything that you want to do. Right? So this is just different types of things that you can do. This is how we can become a smart researcher. So mind me, I'll quickly go through these tools. And there's another one called Unpaywall, and we'll learn about this consensus.app. I'm just showcasing you a few things just to keep you ahead. And this is like another quite interesting area. Say, Kavinda asked this question, what area you can do research? These are the state-of-the-art areas. So you can go here. Remember, this is not only computing. I know most of you are from computing, but remember, you can find so many other areas here. My net is slow a little bit. And this is SciSpace. I'll come to other one, but this is another one. And this is another one. You can do deep research called Manus. I don't know how to pronounce it. Of course, DeepSeek, you guys know. And of course, there's something called Storm from Stanford. It also can be used. And something called Open Deep Research. Thesis.ai, and my goodness, there are plenty more. So let me check whether I can quickly show you one other tool. Yeah, there's a bit of a problem about papers with code. Yeah, I'll not worry too much about it right now. But if you go to papers with code, let me close this thing. Yeah, let me check whether it gets loaded in a different browser. No, for some reason it doesn't. Right. So I'll come to that on a different time. Don't worry. Yeah. So likewise, there are so much of tools. See, this is another tool from LangChain. So you can see this is also for research. You can create such Lang graphs and Lang chains. You will learn again. Don't worry. Right, guys. Any questions? So probably I can take another maximum 20 minutes. So be with me. This part is very important. So up to this point, what I was trying to do is to motivate you. Yes, guys, you can become researchers like Einstein. No problem at all. Right? අර ජර්මනි ඉපදුනා නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ හැමෝටම මේ ලද්දෝ රිසර්චර්ස්ලා වෙන්න තිබ්බා. නැත්නම් whatever the field that you selected. ඒක වෙලා තින් ලංකාවේ මේ මයින්ඩ්සෙට් එක නැහැ අපිට. ඇටිටියුඩ් එක නැහැ. හැමෝටම නැහැ කියන අදහස නෙමෙයි මම මේ කොන් කරන එකවත් මම කොපි කොන් වෙන එකවත් නෙමෙයි මම කියන්නේ අපිට ඇටිටියුඩ් එක නැහැ. හරි. ඉතින් ඒක අපිට අදාළ නැහැ. දැන් මොන රටේදී ඉපදුනේ කොහොමද ඉපදුනේ අපිට ඉංග්‍රීසි දැනගෙන ඉපදුනේ නැහැ අදාළ නැහැ. දැන් අපිට access තියෙනවා. ඉතින් තවදුරටත් අපිට excuses තියෙන්න බෑ. ඒකයි මම point කරන්නේ. ඒ වගේම we can build things. අපිට Silicon Valley එක මම map එකෙත් වෙනවා San Francisco. අපි Bay Area එකේ ඉන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. We have still problems. We don't have good internet connectivity, and plus there are plenty of issues are there. But still, guys, like ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තවදුරටත් කියන්න බෑ අපි ස්ටැන්ෆර්ඩ් එකේ නෙමෙයි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ. අපි MIT එකේ නෙමෙයි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ ඔච්චර ගණන් හම්බ කරන්න මේ එහෙම කියන්න බෑ. ඉතින් මේ සෙෂන් එක අනිකට කියන්න අදහස හැමෝටම බොරු excuses හදාගන්න එපා. right? අනේ මට මෙහෙම දෙයක් තිබ්බේ නෑනේ මට ඔවා කියන්න කවුරුත් හිටියේ නැහැනේ අපි සෑම් ඕල්මන්ව දන්නේ නැහැ. So these are all stupid logics hereafter. Right? If you want to learn like Sam Altman, I told you, you can write a prompt in Perplexity. Machang, you are Sam Altman, please help me. Right? He'll give you all the details. Right? Okay. Any questions? Yeah. So I was just saying, just wanted to give you the motivation and also show that it is possible to do. Very clearly, it's possible to do. There's no way that someone can say, no, still, no, we have problems. No, you can't say that anymore. You are completely now, ready to do any of the said things. Yeah, that's enough for the moment. So any questions? If not, we'll go to the most important section of today's session. It will be a fast one, but still it's very important. No questions? මම හිතනවා මම ඔයගොල්ලෝ කන්ෆියුස් කරේ නැහැ කියලා. පොඩ්ඩක් කන්ෆියුස් වෙනට කමක් නැහැ. මම හිතනවා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට at least අර ලොකු motivation එකක් එන්න නැතුව ඇති, but still you got some sort of a motivation, isn't it? Any questions?
Yeah, actually, Dr. Lakmal, then what we have to do is like just if from me, like then I'm doing like some research. So then what we have to do is like what I am doing and what I'm interesting. So the same area, but we need to use the tools and as well as that do not to the traditional or a conventional. So we need to do like using this, but actually I'm not much using this much tools. We just do the traditional method exactly. So
thank you for saying that, Kavinder. That's a good thing that to take home message එකක් එදිරේක හොඳයි. හැබැයි ඒක මතක තියාගන්න අපි අර දැන් මේ වැඩේ tools පාවිච්චි කරන එක පොඩි ළමයෙකුට කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. හැබැයි අපි ඒක ඒ විදිහටම නෙමෙයි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. පැහැදිලිවම කියන එක. දැන් cricket bat එකක් තියෙද්දි even though I don't like සංගක්කාර අපිට play කරන්න පුළුවන් සංගක්කාර දිහා බලාගෙන. Like we can be a cricket, but සංගක්කාර had put so much of effort, right, to play the මොකද සංගක්කාරගේ හොඳම shot එක. But for හුක් ෂොට් එක අරවින්දට සංගක්කාරගේ හොඳම ෂොට් එක මොකද්ද මට එහෙම එකපාරට මතකට එන්නේ නැහැ. ඩ්‍රයිව් එකක්ද?
කවර් ඩ්‍රයිව් එක නේ.
කවර් ඩ්‍රයිව් එකද? යා කවර් ඩ්‍රයිව්. ඉතින් මට කියලා තිනවා මම දන්න සංගක්කාර දන්න කෙනෙක් මට කිව්ව දවසක් සංගක්කාර තනියම සංගක්කාර මිනිස්සුකේට මම කැමති වුණාට he is one of the best players ever. Like he been playing like whatever the shots say cover shot in the හැමෝම ගෙදර ගිහිල්ලා ඔක්කොම කාලා බීලා ඉවරනකම් මේක මේ try කරනවා. ඒක හරි අමුතුයි වෙනසක්. ඔන්න කවින්ද ඔක තේරුම් ගන්න. අපි නිකන් අර chat GPT එකේ ගහලා කරන එකට වඩා අපිට deep අවබෝධකින් මේක කරන එක තමයි මේ session එකේදී අපි කියන්නේ යන්නේ. කවින්ද තේරෙනවද ඒක? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll use the tool, of course, like others. Right? Anybody in the world can use the tool, but we do use it in a different way, different thinking pattern. We always have objective. You know the exact process. Right? If somebody asks a question in a deep down way, we can learn it. Yeah, don't worry. Next few weeks, you will understand most of it. So we'll get some example. I'll talk to Kavinder and Kavinder can say whatever you can say to the crowd. This is something that I'm working with. Now, friend Krishan also shared what he's doing, but we don't have to go specifically on what he's doing. It can be personal to him. There's some privacy involved, but we can get the generic topic and do a research. So then you know how to work it around. And we can go up to a product development stage. Right? And even we go beyond that, even we'll try to work out some funding also. That also we'll do here in this session. We'll see how it goes day by day. Right? So, yeah, there can be more people. We can get 100 people or we can get 2 people in the session. I don't really mind. So I'm working towards something. There can be a day where there's no one, in the live session, but still, okay, I'm going to work out, say this is my digital twin project. I'll work it out. So you guys can have a look at it later on. Or maybe there are 100 people coming and then we can talk about it. We can have it in a different way. Right. Anyway, so I'll quickly go to this 2 slide decks, not everything, but I'll show you some important things. But in the next few weeks, we go too detailed into these slide decks. Right. Now, this is a speech by Andre Kapate. I think Andre Kapate කෙනෙක් කෙනාව හැමෝම දැනගන්න ඕන කෙනෙක්. This guy worked for Andre Kapate. So this guy worked for a few good companies, but finally he was working for Tesla, right? So he's basically a top character in AI specifically, and now he's working his own company called Eureka Labs. And this guy is the one who coined the term vibe coding, and he has done so many great stuff, right? He was in Stanford, and he was a founding member at OpenAI as well. So you can see, right? But again, there's one thing that I want to clarify. In this, we are going to use research and startups. That's the core topics here. Research-based startups, productive startup lab, right? That's what we are doing, right? So we build up a lab. You all can build up your own lab. That's what you're doing. ඒකට අපි AI tools පාවිච්චි කරමු. හැබැයි කාටරි ඕන නම් AI research එකක් කරන්න, AI agents කතා කරන්න. Yeah, we'll do that. That's your research area. ඒක ගැන අපිට worry එකක් නැහැ. Then Samuel may be using something on, I know he's learning bit of security, I think, no? So it can be a security topic. Krishan using for a security topic. But maybe here we have Andrew. Maybe Andrew is working with something on economics, like Livindu is trying out something on medical health science. It doesn't really matter, right? I think no one working on forex market, so forex share market, finance, investing. It's okay. It doesn't matter, right? Okay, now let's go and try to understand a few bits of things. Now, this is a speech from Kapate, who did it very recently. You can listen to his speech as well. Mage speech එක අහන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. යාගේ speech එක තියෙනවා YouTube එකේ. But මම පොඩ්ඩක් වැදගත් points ටිකක් පෙන්නන්නම්. He's saying software is changing. So this is basically map of GitHub. එතකොට මේක කලින් software 1 කියන එකේදී we all started writing code. But මේ දවස්වල code writing කියන එක big problem එකක් නෙවෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Software 2.0 is like you are building weights or neural networks. ඒක අපි දැන් අවුරුදු 5ක 6ක 10ක විතර තිස්සේ වෙච්ච දෙයක් neural networks වලින් අපි කියනවා machine learning models, right? But now suddenly you get something called software 3.0. Right? You can, people who are here, most of, I know you come into the LLM session, but if there's anyone who is not coming, please come or watch the video. This, what you call this transformers had revolutionized the world. Now, earlier we coded things like this, right? We coded it like this. In software 2.0, we gave just data points, labels, and now you can give vibe coding. You can ask questions. Machang, can you do this for me? Can you build this software for me? Things like that. And things are changing a lot. Now, basically, this example from Tesla. Initial stage, Tesla in this autonomous driving car, everything was done using software 2.0, basically machine learning. Even when I did my PhD, Tesla was doing something called autonomous driving. In 2014, I started my 13-14 started. I also used something called deep reinforcement learning. So it's the same thing that they also use. We'll probably talk about it later. But now you can see things are growing in this 3.0 age. And you guys are in the right time to work with the software. So remember, whatever the area that you want to research, build software for it. Even mathematics. So I built a mathematical model for I told you, like I want to prove Einstein is wrong. Not Einstein is wrong. Actually, they have proved that Einstein is wrong to some extent. But I'm going to prove that the theory of everything is wrong. I don't care. For that, I need to write software. Even mathematics, computational mathematics neuroscience computational neuroscience right? So I'm really interested in neuroscience as well, brain science. I'm trying to build consciousness. Yeah, means AI වලට පොඩි දෙයක් කියනවා නම් ඒ අලුතෙන්ම LLM model, sorry, not LLM, neural network එකක් හදනවා අර පටිච්ච සමුප්පාදය කියලා තියෙන බුද්ධ ආගමේ ඒක පාවිච්චි කරලා කවුරු හිනා යන්න පුළුවන්. It's okay, right? So they have to really deeply convert Buddhism into mathematics. You can. The cool thing is you can. In Buddhism, there's something called Nama and Rupa, right? So both are worked in a very different way. So they say energy cannot be destructed, but yes, energy can be destructed or destroyed in a way in small timely sessions. You can explain even black holes and what is dark matter, dark energy, all these things can be explained. So this is what I'm planning to do. Yeah, but anyway, it's not a simpler thing or not even a shorter thing. If I live for another 2 to 3 years, yes, I'm going to try it out. Anyway, different matter. But remember, AI is the new electricity. So now this is something that you all have to know. That's what I showed you, Stargate project from Donald Trump, $500 billion. මේක තමයි පහුගිය අවුරුදු දෙකේ කරේ මේ කම්පැනිස්. හිතා ගන්නවත් බැරි දෙයක්. මේ power plants හැදුවා, power plants already තිබ්බා. හැබැයි මේ data centers සාමාන්‍ය මේක හදන්න යන අවුරුදු දෙකක්. මේගොල්ලෝ මාස 3ෙන් data center එකක් හැදුවා Nvidia. Right? ඊට පස්සේ Elon Musk data center එකක් හැදුවා. So you are in the right time. So work with the right tools, learn these things, right? And do it. I'm not going to go too much into it. I just wanted to quickly go through, right? And probably next week we'll go slowly. And LLMs create this fabs කියලා කියන්නේ අපි මේ data centers වලට තමයි huge capex එකක් යනවා, capital expenditure එකක් යනවා. And deep tech tree එකක් තියෙනවා. R&D හිතා ගන්න බැරි තරම්. YouTube එකේ තියෙනවා බලන්න check කරලා Facebook data center, Google data center. You can be amazed how much of stuff is there. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, right? And Google is training on TPUs, and now Andrew is saying now we are building up something called a large language model operating system. This is what's happening whether you like it or not, right? I think මම මේක මෙහෙම කියලා summarize කරන්න too much detail වලට යන්න නැති වෙන්න, because I want all of you to have a take home message. මේ වීඩියෝ එක බලන කට take home message එකක්. Initial part එක වුණා දැන් තේරුණා අපි මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා, කරන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක තේරුණා. ඉස්සරහට ලෝකෙ වෙන්නේ අපි කැමති උනත් නැති උනත් රොබෝලා එනවා. Nuclear power plants හැදෙනවා. Right? ඊට පස්සේ you will have different types of communication. 6G, 7G, 8G, 9G, 10G, 10 generation, 11 generation, 20 generation අවුරුද්දයක් ඇතුළත එනවා. Right? And they are going to communicate in very different ways. ඊට පස්සේ medical operations වෙන්නේ වෙනස් විදියට. ඒ හැම එකකම operating system එකක් විදිහට large language models වගේ ඒවා connect වෙනවා. All right? You cannot stop that. Robotics to micro robots lu ඇඟ ඇතුලේ යවන්න පුළුවන් robots තියෙනවා cell level එකේ, right? Gene level එකේ robots හැදෙනවා ඉස්සරහට, දැන්ටමත් හැදලා ඉවරයි. Nano materials තියෙනවා, nano particles හැදෙනවා. Quantum particles level එකට ඉස්සරහට දියුණු වෙවි. හැබැයි වෙන්නේ consciousness එක වගේම large language models ඒවට උදව් කරනවා. ඉතින් කාටරි මම කිව්වොත් එහෙම language එක දැන් හිතන්න කියලා වෙලා දැන් ඔයාලට හිතන්න බෑ. You can't think without language now. Can you, Krishan? No, right? Can you think without the normal language that you speak? Hard, no? But remember, like even without knowing a language, you can think. But now it's very hard, right? Because you are so used to think through a language. Aruna mara vedak kare, that bugger did this thing to me. You use English or Sinhala or Tamil or whatever, right? So similarly, language models are very important, and they build a kind of operating system. So to be very honest, just quick shift here. This is what's going to happen. So you will have hardware semiconductors at this level, and then you'll have cloud, and then you have your foundational models like OpenAI, and then you have an agentic layer, and then you build operating system. Make a different view, but it's the same thing. So end of the day, your Linux kernel, cloud OSs will be there. But on top of that, you have this foundational model, which is like another OS. I told you a few times I'm building my own life OS model as well. It's based on Buddhist principles, and it will live with you. I told you yesterday, Bansi Buddy sort of a logic, right? So again, an OS. So make a Venova. So you can also develop your own OS. So nothing to stop you by developing it. So go ahead and do it, right? It may logics can make life voice, but whatever you do, try to understand you have the potential to do it. No one will stop you. You don't need, you don't have to be working with Andrew Kapati to do that. Yes, you can go to Google and you use Perplexity and you can start build it. Yeah, rest of it, even though it's important, don't worry, we have enough time to go through this. We'll talk about these things slowly, about this LLM psychology and other things. I'm not going to worry you too much about it. Next week we'll touch on that, but let me quickly now go to the last section, or last session for today, or last section for today, right? That is what we are planning to do next week onwards. Maybe I touched on it. I'll introduce a research paper. We'll do a fun talk about research paper, selected paper. And also we'll talk about some research projects happening in somewhere in the world that's going to change the world. And also we'll do a practical. We'll build a product, small product, maybe a large product, or maybe we'll build a pretty large product and we'll do phase-wise, right? Practically we'll do that. And also we'll talk about startups, funding. As an example, one of the best syllabuses available in the internet to understand startup would be from Y Combinators. As you can see here, these are the top companies. These are 5,000 companies from Y Combinator. ඔයාලා හිතලවත් නැතුව ඇති Y Combinator apply කරන්න. So guys, apply for 2025 batch. You guys are young blood, so there's nothing stopping you. Before August 5, apply කරලා බලන්න. මම මේක විශේෂයෙන්ම කියන්නේ try කරන්න මේක. Y Combinator එකේ තියෙනවා you don't have to be in USA, right? They will give you a scholarship, right? Even there's the opportunity that you can go to San Francisco, and then basically you will learn how to build your startup. I think මේ තියෙන්නේ ඔයගේ startup මේක කියන්නේ accelerate එකක් කියලා. If somebody asks what is a Y Combinator, it's a startup accelerator එකක්. ලංකාවේ තිබ්බ කීපයක්. මතනේ what do you call it? Anyone knows where's Sri Lanka Startup Accelerator? There are few. But I checked today, Lankan Angel Network again and then down some reason. Angel Network make a VC firm make up. Have Lanka the virtual company, anyone knows about it? For some, oh, it's working. No, yes. We are Sri Lankan largest angel investors. I don't know whether they have a startup accelerator. You can see some famous figures. There are people, some buggers that I don't like also, but anyway, who cares? Yeah, so this is Lanka Angel Network, and you can see some companies came out of it. But anyhow, Y Combinator is one of the worst top. Even Sam Altman, වැඩ කරේ ඉස්සර දැන් OpenAI එකේ ලොක්කා මෙයා දිගටම වැඩ කරේ මේ කම්පැනි එකේ. හරි. ඉතින් ඔයාලට බලන්න පුළුවන් මේකේ ගියාම companies තියෙනවා. ලොකු companies තියෙනවා. පොඩි companies උත් තියෙනවා. Y Combinator out which I think this is one of the best places. We'll hang around here most amount of time. I'll show you what we can do here, and more importantly, if you go here, this is one of the curriculums of Y Combinator. I think Y Combinator. What I'm going to do is I have learned these things several times. I'll go through like how should you do a startup. These things we'll learn, right? How we should do a startup. So you can of course start watching this even without coming to my session. You can start watching it. Go ahead, no worries. But if you want, we can do this, and we'll do practically things. How to get startup ideas by Paul Graham. I should think you should know who's Paul Graham, and how to build the MVP model. So what is that? I can't even remember what MVP stands for, because there are so many MVPs these days, right? Yeah, so that you will learn, and likewise there's a long list of things that you're going to learn about here. So those things also we'll learn. That's about basically I'll close all these things, and there are so many other accelerators, incubators and stuff like that. And also we'll build up a research toolbox. That is something very essential. Today we work with Research Rabbit. Similarly, we'll try to understand what are the workflows, how to write things faster, how to do proper write-ups. You can use tools. At the same time, you learn the concepts. You need to know, you have to be filled, right? So you know exactly how you write things, how you do things, but you're doing faster techniques. There's no one to stop you. And then strategic research advice, those tools also we'll use. And quickly I'll go through some of the important parts, and we'll finish up the session in another 5 to 10 minutes. So those slides I will go through quickly later on. I don't want to tell you all these things right now, even though I wanted to do these things. Yeah, this is just one thing that I want to show you. Last time, the last session that Y Combinator did, there were almost 400 companies or 396 companies. Out of that, 325 companies was AI companies. Please understand that. right? But remember AI කොහොම software companies නෙමෙයි මේවා එක areas වල තියෙන. මෙතින් productivity පැත්තට companies 40 ගාණක් තිබලා තියෙනවා. Developer tools වලට 45යි. General purpose, customer service, sales and marketing, healthcare, legal, education, financial. But this 144 companies was on AI. This is another big company called Memo. It uses AI agents to teach things, basically teach how to code and everything. These are the industries. Developing healthcare. There's a lot in healthcare. So you can see healthcare companies, and most of them are AI companies. Financial, likewise, you can see the difference. And then, of course, a lot of big companies are looking for B2B solutions. I think when you say B2B solutions, you can understand that. So you can see healthcare, 47 companies. So there are a few examples here, Taxo and Pharos. One was AI-powered medical billing. ලංකාවෙත් මම හැදෙනව නැතුව නෙමෙයි. ලංකාවෙත් I think some of you are in the software industry probably have a better idea. A lot of companies are now working on these areas, which is good, which is great. And then education companies. Education is going to change, right? So Tesla is building a curriculum where they build their own, they don't say it's university, but you can do it at home, sort of. Google is doing that. Meta is doing that. So they're not against universities, but they build their own models. If you really want, I don't want to show the curriculum, but Google have a lot of soft courses. Microsoft has a lot of courses. I think you are aware about it. And they work on space tech, robots, my goodness. So you can understand. Yeah, that's more than enough, right? So even though there were several other things that I wanted to show you, but I think it's enough for the day. Otherwise, it'll get too much content. But remember, like I said earlier, next week onwards, we'll have a plan, and I'll always give out what we are going to cover. And I really want you to, because all these 3 sessions that I'm going to do. So for cybersecurity session, sorry if I'm not telling you everyone is not interested on these all 3, but cybersecurity, we are going to do practicals. We are going to really hack things. Right? We are going to do bug bounty, and we are going to implement this, paid services. And large language, the AI session, we are going to do Kaggle competitions. And here also, we're going to build products, and we are going to, ideally, we are going to create products, and we are going to plan to truly, build startups around it. Or if you're not willing to do a startup, maybe like, you can go and probably sell it to a company. Or maybe you want to write a patent, and probably you can monetize your patent. Or you can put it into Kickstarter. Probably you are aware about Kickstarter, right? So it's not loading. Kickstarter, and then you can create your own fund. You don't want to go for a fund giving organization, but you can go to a platform like Kickstarter. The internet is too slow for some reason. And you can basically ask for crowdfunding. This is called crowdfunding. Probably you are aware. So if you go and, okay, sorry, get loaded again, technology. So you can build a small AI thing, or, so there are so many things that they do these days. Accept all. So this is a dynamic ergonomic share. So you guys are interested in these areas, or yeah, so you can see that we go for this share. So you can see how crazy people are about these things. They wanted to have only 75,000 Australian dollars, but they got almost $5 million. So this is the true nature of what people really do, right? So why can't you do it? Why can't I do it? That's what I think, and that's what you should also think. And you can call your closest people, your family, right, and your other friends, and ask them to ask the same question. Why can't you do that? And when are you going to do that? You want to go to Australia to do that? No, you can do it from home, and you can then, it'll allow you to go to US because of that reason. That's great, right? Yeah, so that's similarly, you can go and study. There are so many other great projects. This is just crowdfunding. But if you need funding coming from angels, or you need from venture capitalists, you can do that. These days, it's very rarely people go and ask for money from banks. There are so many other places. There are so many. It's so even difficult to imagine. As an example, I'll quickly take probably another 5 minutes and finish it off. Like place like Crunchbase. So there are so many other companies. So this is just an example of set of companies who is in the SaaS space. So in this Excel sheet, there are 854 companies, my goodness. But the bad thing about it is most of them are in US because the attitude, Canada, US, Canada, US. Very rarely you can find a Sri Lankan company here. Now, of course, there are a lot of Indian companies. I'll share all these things to you. And yeah, so just is a good place to change your attitude towards planning for next big thing. Okay, let me finish it up just saying what we are planning to do, right? Forget about the word research. You can think of something great to do, and then you can build it, and then you can sell it, and then you can earn $1 million. You can get 5% to me if you want to, right? Or you can give it free for someone who wants to, live, or there can be poor people who don't have money to spend for their injection. So yeah, that's up to you. But anyway, that's the logic, right? And then we'll try to do it in the right way, not the wrong way. Anybody can do it, ChatGPT. No, we are going to do it in a proper way, a systematic way, right? The scientific way. But we are going to do it fast, right? And we are going to do it efficient and the optimized way. And then we'll fail at points, but at one point we are going to succeed. Right. And that's about it. Yeah, it's almost 9:30 for you guys. Any questions? Any questions, guys? Just will until you have any question to check. These are like places where you can get support. Like in Australia, there are so many, but remember, these are not only for Australian citizens, right? Australian people. No, anybody can apply. See how many organizations are willing to give you grants. So this is called 500 startups activator. So have you ever thought of why? Macam අපි කකට apply කරලා නෑනේ. Yeah, that's a problem. We have to apply. Darwin Innovation Hub, right? See, there are plenty of places where you can see they have given $2.3 billion, right? And why can't you build application? Asia Pacific MedTech Catalyst, I don't know. This is also for me. Also, I do work for a project on Cisco and ICP. It's called Innovation Central. And see Darwin, so you can see, right? So how many companies or how many organizations have money just to give it away for people like you and me to create something new, something fun, something research based. And yeah, so you can't even go to the list, this long list, and this is just from Austrian side and plenty more. Right? So that's what I wanted to just to share at last. Right, guys. So next time onwards, please raise your issues, ask your questions, and then we can start building things. So this is like a build club, right? So and anyone wants to join, I told you there's this build club. So I'll also get partnership with them, and we can connect with these guys. We can ask some of these people to come and share their knowledge here. I have one of my friends who started the business. He's doing really great now. He have developed a new post-quantum VPN sort of a situation. Yeah. So we'll start building things. This is a kind of a lab sort of a situation. දිගටම මම තුනේම කියන එකක් තමයි මුල්දාස් ටික මන්ට කතා කරා. ඊට පස්සේ what we're going to do is we're going to do things once you have the basic knowledge. Fine, enough. Any questions? All good? Right, guys. So if there's no other questions, we'll stop for today and we'll meet next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.